once the webinar's completed, we'll host the recording on our website. So we'll circulate the link for you all if you want to watch it back or share it with other team members that haven't made it this evening as well. So with me tonight, I've got a couple of my colleagues, including Manisha and Victor, and I'm going to hand over to Victor in a few minutes. But before I do, I just thought I'd walk you through where we are and why you're here this evening. So we've only got 45 minutes, so I'll be quick. One thing I will encourage you to do is, whilst I'm talking, if you can just add in your pharmacy ODS code in the chat for me, just so that we are clear and know who you are representing, which pharmacies you're representing. And if you have any questions, do feel free to use the raise your hand function or add that into the chat as well. There's no thing as a stupid or silly question, so you're amongst friends, so please do use the chat function as well. Thank you. So tonight we're going to be talking about the community pharmacy and general practice integration booking platform, which I'm hoping your colleagues or you're kind of familiar with, but let's just go through very quickly in terms of why this appointment booking platform is needed in community pharmacy as well. So last year, a long time ago, it feels like, back in May, a document called the Delivery Plan for Recovering Access to Primary Care was published. And this is also abbreviated as PCOP, so you might hear that acronym being floated around. And it included a number of commitments, mainly for community pharmacy, but it pledged quite a lot of money in terms of 645 million investment in community pharmacies over a 2-year period. And essentially, it involves practices deflecting low acuity interventions to community pharmacies. So things like the minor ailments, which was previously known as under the term of CPCS, now being rebadged as Pharmacy First, because obviously we've got the 7 clinical conditions under that as well. So I'm not going to talk to you in length about that, but also the expansion of the other services, including blood pressure, service checks, and pharmacy contraception. The services paid for out of the pharmacy contract practices are not defunded, so that is a free support, just to reiterate that as well. So that's the PCOP, and there's quite a lot of things within PCOP, and I just wanted to really focus your attention to this particular detail, which was about expansion of pharmacy first services, including the uptake, meaning the referrals as well. So the plan has 2 central ambitions. The first is to tackle that 8 a.m. rush and ultimately reduce the number of people that are struggling to contact their practice. And secondly, for patients to know on the day they contact their practice how their request will be managed. So ultimately, to support the plan, NHS England and DHSC have committed that investment of the £645 million that I previously shared with you in the previous slide over the next 2 years, and then to expand the existing community pharmacy services subject to consultations increasing. So I've added the numbers in there. I'm not going to go through them, but you can see that these are national figures. So these are England figures. So for example, increased pharmacy first pathway consultations per month by at least 320,000 by March 2025. And there's obviously figures there for blood pressure check service and community pharmacy. Something to also remind you of is that at the end of March 2025, feels like a long time away, but it's actually not. It's just around the corner, it feels like. Community pharmacies will be mandated to provide all 3 elements of PCOP. So what that means is, at the end of March, all community pharmacies across England will be required to provide a blood pressure check service, the pharmacy contraception service, and Pharmacy First. So as it stands, if you're a contractor or if you're a pharmacy, you can provide any of those 3, and it's really up to you. And I think there's still a small proportion that either are providing Pharmacy First and or blood pressure and or contraception service. But at the end of March next year, it will be mandated that all pharmacies have to provide all 3 services. Move to the next slide. So in terms of partnership and our aims, I'm not going to go through each of the the objectives, but ultimately I just wanted to reassure you that this collaboration, and I'm going to hand over to Victor and Manisha from Connect as well, but we've also got colleagues from the ICB tonight as well. So this is, truly a collaborative initiative. We are working, as in Community Pharmacy Leicester and Rutland, have been working with LLR ICB. So we've got Paul on tonight, and also Pfizer and Connect. So Connect are the designers of the platform as well. And in terms of our aims, well, I'm not going to go through that exhaustive list there, but ultimately it's to free GP time so that they can see more of the complex and higher acuity patients, and also increase the percentage of patients referred by GPs into community pharmacy. One thing I would say is that this initiative or pilot isn't going out across all of LLR. It's a very bespoke and tailored pilot for the time being. And the PCNs that we are looking at, which is hence why you're here tonight, I'm just going to list them very quickly, is Market Harborough, Leicester Central, Store Valley, Salutum, and the Leicester Foxes PCN as well. So these are all PCNs, and I'm sure you've got practices you deal with on a day-to-day basis that resonate from those PCNs as well. So where are we now? So whether you're here as a pharmacy team member or a pharmacy owner or pharmacy manager, you've been on this journey with us for quite some time. You've probably reached out to me, or I've reached out to you, but ultimately you've agreed to participate. So thank you for that, and hopefully you're raring to go just like we are. I did speak to you all individually, and you've since then returned your DPIA, which is your data protection impact assessment, as part of your IG sign off into information governance. And the reason why you're here tonight is because you've returned that. So we've got that. I'm going to miss the next two steps out, but we are now in a position where we're going to be doing the onboarding. So tonight, Victor will explain to you how to use the platform, how the appointments will look like. So hopefully by the end of tonight, you'll be quite eloquent and able to use the platform easily as well. And you'll hopefully find out that it will be easy. The two things that I do want you to focus on is just make a mental note, or make a note if you've got a pen and a paper in front of you, is that following tonight, two things will happen. The first thing is that Victor will be sending out the data sharing and processing agreement form as well. And so that will be done via a DocuSign. And a bit later, I'll show you what email address to look out for as well. So that will happen later on this evening, and that will go out to your pharmacy NHS mail address as well. So no personal email addresses here. It will have to go to your NHS mail address. And then the second thing is either you're here because somebody within your pharmacy has already identified you as a champion, but we do need a champion to take this initiative forward. So from each of your pharmacies, so whichever pharmacy you're here to represent, we do need a dedicated champion. Now, I've had a question around what kind of caliber, what kind of person should be that champion. If you're a pharmacy dispenser, that's okay, that's fine. But ultimately, it's about somebody that's going to be managing the platform on a day-to-day basis. If there's any problems with troubleshooting, etc., and somebody that can perhaps liaise with Victor and the team directly as well. So you don't have to be a pharmacist, a pharmacy owner, or a pharmacy manager to do that. And it would probably make better sense that it is allocated to a pharmacy dispenser or even a healthcare assistant as well, because it is an appointment booking platform. There's no clinical information involved in this at all at this point. So I'm going to hand over to Victor now, if that's okay, to talk about the platform. And like I said, if you have any questions, do add it into the chat, as we'll be monitoring that throughout the evening. Victor, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajshri. Hello, everyone. I'm Victor Krudu. I'm the CTO here at Connect. First of all, I would like to thank you all for joining this session at this late hour. So basically, when you use our platform, if any questions or any problems would appear, you can contact us at supportconnect.com. But the platform as well has a communication widget that you can use in order to send us messages directly from the system. So when you're logged into the system, you'll be able to send directly the messages, and either from receiving anything from you through supportconnect.com email address or through the communication widget. we will respond within 1 hour to any questions or solve any problems that might appear. So the next, I'll present some most important functionalities of our platform, and I'll do it by playing some short videos. Between these videos, you can interrupt me and ask any questions if you'll have. So I'll just share my screen and I'll play the first video, which will explain how to create an account in our system. So screen should be seen now.
Welcome to our registration process. Click the Sign Up or Start Now button to begin. You'll be guided through each step. Enter your preferred email address and create a secure password to set up your new account. Make sure your password is strong to protect your information. After submitting your information, you'll receive a verification email. This ensures that your email address is correct and secure. Check your inbox for our email. Click the verification link inside to proceed. This step is crucial for validating your account. Successfully verified. Great! Now, sign in using your email and the password you created. This will take you to the next phase of setup. Upon signing in, you'll receive another verification code in your email. This adds an extra layer of security to your account. Next, the system will ask for your ODS code to retrieve organization details from the NHS ODS API. Using the ODS code, the system identifies the type of organization, which helps in determining the correct functionalities for the user. You can edit the organization details you would like to change. This information will be securely stored in our system. You'll also need to provide the personal details of the administrator. Ensure this information is accurate for proper account setup. Depending on the organization type, after signing in, the system will show the menu depending on the organization type. For example, this is a pharmacy account, and the menu will contain the appointments and availability menu options.
So just this simple step needs to be followed in order to create an account. And this account is administrator account. So after this, you can manage availability, which is the time interval during the day, which you'll specify when the appointments can be booked by the GP practice. The next video, I think there's some noise. So I'll
If you're not speaking, can you just put yourselves on mute if that's okay? Thanks, Victor.
thank you, Nancy. So next video will explain how to set up the availability during which appointments can be booked by the GP practice at your pharmacy. So I'll share another video. Just a moment.
For the pharmacy account, the journey begins on the availability screen. Here you'll set up your schedule using simple drag actions. Let's create an availability. For example, you can set availability from 8 to 11. The system will calculate the slots available within this interval. Next, select the services you'll offer during these hours. Choose from the provided list. After selecting, hit Confirm to finalize your availability. Need to adjust your schedule? Simply drag to change the hours. The system will display both the old and new intervals, along with the updated slot count. After reviewing, press Confirm to update your availability. This flexibility allows for easy management of your schedule. You can apply the same process to add different time slots, like 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., and for other days of the week as well. Should you need to remove any availability, click the delete icon. You'll be asked to confirm this action to ensure it's not done by mistake. If there's an appointment booked within a slot you wish to delete, the system will prevent this to avoid disrupting scheduled appointments. For instance, this slot has appointments scheduled and cannot be deleted. With your availability now set, GP practices can begin booking appointments within the slots you've provided. As you familiarize yourself with the booking and availability settings, you'll find managing your pharmacy's appointments becomes simpler and more efficient.
So you've just seen how to add availability during your working hours, and this availability will be shown in the GP practice account when somebody will book appointments at your pharmacy for their patients. So next video will show how to view the appointments in our system when they are booked by the GP practices. I'll just show another video in a moment. So just a moment.
For the consultation, begin by navigating to the Appointments tab in your pharmacy user account. Select the scheduled appointment from the Appointments calendar. The system will then display the details of the patient. Verify that the patient details are correct. Accuracy is key to providing a personalized and effective consultation. Throughout the consultation process, the system allows access to patient information, enables the addition of important notes, and lets you choose the consultation's final result. Neither the outcome nor the notes are required for the booking system, because the consultation results will be shared with the GP practice through other authorized systems. When the consultation concludes, press End Consultation to officially mark it as completed in the system. After finishing, you can immediately start another consultation or review completed ones by visiting the appointments list. The consultation you just finished is now labeled as completed. This assists in keeping your records in order. For a detailed review, select the completed consultation in the calendar. This will reveal all associated details. The detailed view includes patient information, any notes taken during the session, the consultation's outcome, and its duration.
So as this basically was the main functionality that will allow you to create an account, to define availability that will be seen by GP practices, and also to see which appointments you've got during the day. And when the appointments are completed, then the consultations, then you will be able to mark them as completed, so that the GP practice as well will know that these appointments has been done at your pharmacy. So what I would like you to show is what happens on the GP practice account side. And for this purpose, I'll share another screen. So this is basically the real system. It's a testing environment on our side. So I'll sign in with the practice account. So this is a GP practice account. So what they will do, they will search for patients based on using NHS number or patient personal details. So when they will find the patient that needs an appointment at your pharmacy, they will the pharmacist will be listed based on proximity of the patient address. And when they find the patient, they will click continue. They will choose the service that they need, the consultation, or for example, pharmacy first. Then by using the postcode of the patient, they will search for pharmacies that are close to their address. So I'll use a test code here. So if the pharmacy is enrolled in our system, the pharmacy will appear in this list. So for example, I've defined some availability for this pharmacy earlier, and then this pharmacy will appear in the list. And the system will make sure as well that the pharmacy provides this pharmacy first service. So for example, for tomorrow, there is some availability defined. The system automatically will show the slots, the 15-minute slots during that availability defined by the pharmacy. And the GP practice will be able to book an appointment here. For example, tomorrow, 2 o'clock. And this also shows which services are provided by this pharmacy. So it's very important that you will keep up to date your availability for next week or so, in order the GP practices to be able to book appointment for their patients at your pharmacy for the services you can provide. I'll book appointment at 2 o'clock. The system will ask confirmation, and after pressing book button, then again all the details will be checked again by the GP practice receptionist, and after submitting, this appointment will appear at this pharmacy, and it will appear in the list of the selected day, as was shown in the video previously. Also, so this is basically what happens on the GP practice side after you have added your availability for the consultations. Also, I've mentioned the communication widget that you can use to ask any support from us, either any questions if you don't understand how to use the system. We will definitely answer everything. So here is a widget that you can use to send us messages. So basically you can click messages, send us a message, and as soon as so basically you can type anything here and just send it to us. So this will appear on our side, and we'll send you any information, requested information, as soon as possible. Also, this widget contains some help page, and the videos that I've shown, you can see them as well here. So here are some sections like enrollment functionality, and you can go and open it and see step by step how to do it. And also the video that I've shown before is here as well. And also other help sections are here as well. How to manage your users, how to see history logs and different charts, and also how to set up availability. Documentation is here. You can see help here, how to do step by step everything. So basically, yeah, this is what I wanted to show you today about our system. And more documentation, as I said, can be seen here in the help center in the communication widget. Yeah, if any questions, yes, please.
Thank you, Victor. I'll just try and go through the questions that came in the chat and make sure that they're all answered as well. I think some have been answered, but I'll just make sure that we. Rahul's just asked if there are a list of surgeries which will be using this, and Stats very kindly already answered that. So Rahul, and for the others as well, this is a phased launch through the PCNs that I've already alluded to as well. So we do have a date for Market Harbour, that's the 2nd of December, and as and when practices are going live through the phased launch, we'll notify you in the immediate after effect of that as well. So 2nd of December Market Harbour, but like I said, it's a phase launch as well. Just make sure if there's any other chats. Will this stop will this stop the PRISM referrals and the pharma outcome referrals from the surgeries? So Victor, is this integrated with pharma outcomes?
So at the moment, all the referrals will come as they came before, yeah. So we just do the appointment booking in order to see how this improves the efficiency, how it helps to allocate your resources properly during the day. But we're working on integrating with referrals, and also to integrate with NHS BSA claiming functionality. So it will appear in the next version. At the moment, you'll keep working or using the existing systems.
Just do you want to come in? Yeah.
Was I think that will this be the only way referrals come in? So the answer is it depends on the practice. So we will work with the practices and hope that the practices that are signed up to it will use this as the mechanism. And Paul Gilbert's very kindly given us the agreement that any referral that comes through this, i.e. if a patient's appointment is booked, you can class that as an electronic referral, and therefore you don't need to get a PRISM or other type of referral. The downside of that is that this won't have all of the details that you may want. It'll have the patient details, but and some additional details. However, the option for the practice will be to be able to put in additional details, i.e. what the referral's for, etc. We will be working with the practice onboarding to make sure that the referral is as rich as possible. I would hope that practices that are signed up to this would use this as the sole form of referral, but you may find that they don't. The reason is some practices may well be referring to other pharmacies that aren't part of the pilot outside of the area, and therefore will still have to use PRISM. So in the short term, you may get referrals from different forms, and you will yourself get referrals from other practices that aren't using this platform. So in the short term, you'll need to run both systems, as in looking at PRISM referrals through Pharm Outcomes, NHS mail referrals if we're still getting any of those, and this. But this is really a booking system so that practices can be assured that they can drop a patient into an appointment with you, knowing that that patient will be seen. But bear with us, this is why it's a proof of concept or pilot, because once we've got the data, we've embedded this, we'll be rolling out to further practices and across and further pharmacies, and that's when it will take over from other systems. And as Victor said, at the moment, this is just a booking system. You continue using your existing mechanisms to claim for your consultations, and to, whilst the practices can see a consultation's completed, if you need to send details via DocMan, then you use your existing system to send any of the outcomes as a result of the consultation to the practice.
Thanks for clarifying that. That's really important as well. And just that point in terms of referrals will be that agreement that we've got with the ICB for the time being as well. In terms of acceptance of referrals this way. If you have any other questions, feel free to pop them in the chat or raise your hand. Whilst you think of that, I'm just going to go back to my slides, if that's okay. Just there's a few more things that we just need to run through whilst we've got you. So whilst I load that, if you do have any questions, like I say, pop that into the chat or raise your hand. I can't see any more questions in the chat, but one thing I did want to just focus or bring your attention to was the next step. So what do we do after this, or what do you do, more importantly, after tonight? The first thing is I need from each of your pharmacy. So I noticed that there's a lot of you from one pharmacy, which is fantastic. So thank you so much. And thank you to all for joining. But what I do need from each of the pharmacies that have agreed to sign up is a named champion from each of your pharmacies. And I need that emailed across to me by Monday, by next Monday. So with that, name of the champion, ODS code, the pharmacy ODS code, and a contact number for them as well. And that could be the pharmacy number, or it could be a mobile as well. And the reason for needing that champion, like I said at the outset, was so that if there is any somebody that's managing that day to day in terms of operational activity, but also if there's any troubleshooting issues, that can be escalated immediately to Victor, and Victor also has a dedicated and specific point of contact there in your pharmacy as well. So it just makes things streamline a bit better. So that's my email address highlighted in the red. Do feel free to make a note of it if you don't know, but if you can do that for me and bring that over to me by Monday, that would be much appreciated. Like I say, we've got our first PCN going live on the 2nd of December. So these are the details that really are the nitty gritty and support us with the mobilisation and implementation of this initiative. And the final thing was just around the data sharing agreement that I've already mentioned. So Victor's going to be sending that to each of your pharmacy NHS mail addresses after tonight's webinar, and it will be coming from an unfamiliar address or email address. So I just wanted to share that with you. So the email address there is highlighted as dfe@docusign.net. It's a DocuSign document, and without you returning and signing that, you won't be able to progress. So I know you've already returned the DPIA, but this is the final aspect in terms of that IG full sign off. So you're fully pledged and signed up to that as well. So again, that will be hitting your pharmacy mailbox, and it won't be sent to any personal email addresses as well. So this is why it's really important that you are on top of your NHS mail addresses as well. And I don't know if my Slido will work, but if not, I think it's a small enough group. But my next and final question would be, do you want or would you like a follow up in terms of a face-to-face follow-up session after Christmas, following on from tonight's webinar? Or are you feeling confident and competent to use the platform as it stands from what's been described and presented to you via Victor and the team as well tonight? So if you can just put that in the chat, there's no right or wrong answer. You can say yes, feel confident, or no, need a bit of more support. We're happy to do whatever. And like I said, this is a pilot, not been done before. So there's no right or wrong answer in this. It's just so that we can make ourselves available and decide who within the team is best placed to support you as well. So do pop that in the chat. Okay, that's fine. For those of you that haven't, then feel free to put your comments in there as well. Any other comments or questions from you guys? I'm conscious it's 8:10. No, Manisha, is there anything you'd like to add? That's okay.
No, not really. I think it's a pretty intuitive system, and hopefully it will save you a lot of time. When the appointment's coming, and you control when the appointments come to you. So hopefully we can see the benefits of this as we use it.
Thank you, Manisha. One question from Moyne is, does the platform allow more than one type of appointment? Do you mean like in terms, because it allows you to put in whether it's a blood pressure check service or a pharmacy contraception or a pharmacy first? If we have, sorry, Moyne, I'm not.
As well, Moyne. So basically, if you've got 3 consultation rooms and you do hypertension, and you've got 3 pharmacists, you can do hypertension, or with a technician do hypertension, do contraception with pharmacist A, and do pharmacy first with pharmacist B. You can open up 3 appointment slots, three different rooms for your pharmacy, and the practice will see more availability. So that functionality is already there.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, it's possible. Multiple consultation per slot to have, and there are 3 different services there, but we can extend if any other services for us, just configuration, just to change, and there will be additional services there. So yeah, it's possible to do this. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Was that one of the benefits of this system, and some feedback we've had historically from practices, which isn't happening as much now, but we used to get this, is we refer a patient to the pharmacy, and then the pharmacy's got a locum, or the pharmacy cannot deal with that referral today. So one of the benefits of this is that if, say, you've got a locum or lots of staff illness, or a pharmacist is phoned in sick, and you're not able to deliver that service that particular day, then you can actually close appointment slots, which means that hopefully you won't get any referrals. By this mechanism, the practice can see that there's not a lot of availability in your pharmacy that day. Obviously, if they've already referred something to you, we can't delete it or close it down, but you have the opportunity to be able to proactively contact that patient, rather than have a patient turn up expecting a service and then to be told, I can't do it today, or whatever else. So it's about how it allows you to proactively plan your load. You could say lots of things like, but the service is supposed to be available all of my opening hours, so why am I able to do this? But we appreciate emergencies happen, things can happen, and what we don't want is disappointed practices, disappointed patients, but also to take pressure off yourself. And it means that you're not wasting time in the pharmacy explaining to patient why you can't do something when you could have closed it down. So it's reducing the risk of patients turning up and not being able to deliver that service at that particular time.
Like that. Any other last minute comments or questions that you have? Just conscious it's 12 minutes past. And you know, you can obviously email us or pick up the phone as well if you think of any questions after tonight. No? Okay, silence is golden, so we'll take that you're all fully pledged and raring to go. So final thing for me is thank you for attending and taking time out of your evening. Please do make a note of who your champion is and email that to me. Otherwise, I will have to call you individually and save me a job, but happy to do that if I need to. But it would be great if you can send that detail over or give it some thought. And please do return that data sharing agreement once it hits your inbox as well. Oh, Nazia's asked, will these appointments be booked on a daily basis? Yes, they will be.
Yes, at the moment is on daily basis. But yeah, we're working on improving this, and very soon will appear to add the recurrent availability as well. How much in advance will we know? Yeah, basically it's up to you. You can set in advance. Yeah, a week you can review that plan. You can go delete, change the slots, and but soon there will appear recurrent as well. So you'll be able to add every Monday for next four weeks, same time, and it will repeat itself. At the moment, it's per day. It's daily basis. Yeah.
But it's up to you, Nazia, in terms of what availability you make available through that platform as well.
Just wanted to say on that topic, Nazia, that essentially the pharmacy first services are probably going to be same day or next day, so making sure there's available would be satisfactory. Remember, you may get contraception referrals or hypertension referrals. That could be a week in advance, 2 weeks in advance. I work in practice as well as clinic, and sometimes I want to pay done, but I want it in 2 weeks or a week. So those pharmacies that have opened up those slots further down the line may see more referrals coming in, so that might be beneficial to you. But at the moment, we can't do recurrent, but you can edit your days and do all of your days as and when you wish.
Thanks for that. No, I hope that answers your question or query as well. Any other queries or questions? Oh, okay, well, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Like I said, if you do think of any other questions, do feel free to reach out to myself or the team, and we'd be happy to answer those questions. If you don't have any questions, feel free to log off. But thank you again for taking the time out of your evening. Have a wonderful evening, the remainder of what's left. Thanks, everyone.
Everyone, bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rahul. Thanks, Molly.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Nadia.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You want to take it off record? I just
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you reminded me last time. I forget. We'll just edit that bit.